Okay, here we go. This is,
Turn left onto Route 117. Then keep left to merge onto QC 117 toward Montreal.
This is 2018 Ironman Mont.
In 300 meters, keep left to merge onto QC 117 toward Montreal.
Race report.
Use the left lane to keep left to merge onto QC 117 toward Montreal.
We're going to have a travel buddy.
Keep left.
Travel buddy with us named Siri.
In 3.6 kilometers, continue onto Route 117.
This video, I'm going to walk you through my day from start and waking up until the finish. It's going to be a long video. I've got time to kill. I'm driving to Montreal to head back to Calgary, so I'm in no rush. I hope you're not in any rush too, so go get yourself a cup of coffee. Hopefully it's in an Ironman mug and not a big cafe mug, although this is good too. This year this was my second time in doing Mont Tremblant. I did it 5 years ago. And we had a bunch of people racing Mont Tremblant. So I said, okay, I'll race with you guys.
In 2 kilometers, continue onto Route 117.
As many of you know, I like to do one Ironman a year. It gives me something to focus on, purpose, something to wake up and do every day. And I like it, and it scares me to get my butt moving. This year was a harder year to get motivated for Ironman. You'll have to watch the other videos to find out why. Well, really, it's just because my dad died. That was really hard. And so I'm still kind of going through it. And I had a point where I didn't want to do it. I came back from the Hawaii training camp, and then I really didn't do much training at all. My heart wasn't there, and I really did not want to, didn't care about it. And then I looked at my training log, Training Peaks, and I realized, oh man,
Continue onto Route 117. Then at the roundabout, take the first exit.
You are nowhere near where I should be for an Ironman. Because I track that every year and I compare year to year. And my run wasn't there, my bike wasn't there, my swim was okay. But the swim is, for me, it's...
At the roundabout, take the first exit onto Route 117.
Swim is not that big of a deal because I know that I can get through the swim. It's only an hour and a bit. What did Siri say? The first exit? I think it's the first exit. There are a ton of roundabouts here. I feel like I'm in Europe.
In 1 kilometer, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto Route 117.
So what I did this year to increase my motivation was I decided to make a video a day showing what I was doing for training. And I didn't care if anybody watched the video. Like, I really didn't care. Even if just one person, myself, just watched it. I just needed something to get myself moving. And I knew that if I made a commitment like that...
At the roundabout, take the second exit onto Route 117.
There's a chance I could get it done. And I needed a little kick in the butt to do it. And so I did that, and it was for me, it was really good to do. I found that there were many days where I just didn't want to train, but by knowing that I have to make this silly video, that it really got me going. And I think I got myself in really good shape.
For 24 kilometers, continue on Route 117.
My results going into the race, I did 2 races. I did Calgary 70.3, which was 3 weeks before Ironman. And then a week before Ironman, I did an Olympic distance race. And 70.3, it went good. I was second in my age group. And the Olympic distance, I was an overall winner. Crazy, I know, but it's true. And And so going into the race, I thought I was in good shape. Well, I know I was in good shape, so I was expecting a good result. I came up with a race plan, and I tried to stick with it the best I could. So that's just kind of like a preface to what's going to happen. We rented a house, or a condo. We had myself, Mark, Alicia, boyfriend Tyler, Johan and his wife Christine, all in the condo, which is fun. It's nice having. I like that. It felt like a camp situation, except I wasn't in control, which is good and bad. Sometimes it's hard to get the group making a decision, but overall, I really enjoyed the company, the support. When you get a group together, it's just a supportive group. It really is quite wonderful. So I really enjoyed that. The biggest question we had on race day was, well, where do we park the car? Where do we park the car, and what time do we wake up? Christine was the driver for the car, and her job was to park it, and Tyler. We woke up, I believe, I was up at like 4:15, and our departure time from the house was 4:45. I didn't shower. I showered the night before. I had all the bags ready, everything ready to go. I'm a guy that does not eat breakfast in the morning. Oh, maybe I'll start. And that's it. So I woke up, got my bags together, get dressed. First thing I do is put on, first thing I do is sunscreen. Put sunscreen on, timing chip, put on my suit. I wear a one-piece suit, so I never do up the top part. The bottom part's always hanging down and tucked into my jeans. And then off we went. So we loaded up the van, and we got pretty close to transition, but there's no parking to be found. We came to the corner, and we got out, all exited the van, and then Christine was able to park it. I didn't pay attention to the time. What time did we get there? I kind of lost track of that. But we were there plenty of time. It was busy. It was busy. When you see that transition full of bikes at an Ironman, it's like a busy Ironman. It's awesome. To me, I get so excited by that. And hearing the speakers, the music, the excitement. It's for me. I love it. It's just a great. Hard to beat that morning. It really is hard to beat that morning. Everyone's excited. They're wondering what's going to happen. Am I going to be able to do this? Will the swim be okay? Will I be able to go to the bathroom, etc., etc., etc.? There's just a lot of stuff going on. It can be really stressful, I get it, but I still like it. I like that whole motion. First thing I did was went to my bike. I was an all-world athlete, gold level, which gave me a lower bib number. I was 164. My bike rack was on the far left-hand side, easy to find. So I went there and I loaded up my nutrition on my bento box. I put in, I think it was 4 packages of blocks. I made sure I had my base salt in there as well. Put 2 water bottles on the bike, one on the down tube and one on the seat tube. Put the computer onto my bike. Made sure the tires were pumped up good. I didn't pump up my tires. I'm not for me. I've never been this way. I'm not that focused or crazy or obsessed about getting my tires to the right PSI. I'm just not. I go, that feels pretty good. The brakes aren't rubbing. Let's go. I always bring though a checklist. And the night before the race, I got out a piece of paper and I wrote down all the things I need to do on race morning. I like that, so that once I'm done in transition where the bike is and I leave, I go, you've gone through the checklist, everything is good, and there's no second guessing. When you start to second guess yourself, we go, what, did I miss this? Did I miss that? It can drive you crazy. So I highly recommend you getting a checklist for your race day. Like, what do you need to do? After I did that, then I went into the tent that had our gear bags. We had the bike gear bags and the run gear bags. In the bike gear bag, I don't think I had to touch it because there's nothing in there. My bike gear bag, all I had was my helmet, my sunglasses were in the helmet. They got a little compartment for it, which is super cool, and shoes. That was it. My run bag, I had to put my watch. When I'm swimming, I don't wear a watch. I don't like how my wetsuit is so tight that I don't like putting it over. I just don't like it. So I take it off, and I don't use this for the bike anyways. So I only use it for the run. So I took this off, put it in my running shoes, so I'd have it for T2. And then once that was done, I exited, and we ran into some athletes. We chatted for a little bit. Then we made our way to the swim. But before that, I found a short porta potty line. The porta potty lines can get very, very long. And because there's so many athletes there, I always tell people bring toilet paper just in case it runs out. And it does, it just runs out. People have to use it. When you have that many people in line, it goes. So bring toilet paper. For me, I got there early and not a long lineup. It's all good. Yeah. From the transition to the lake swim start is a bit of a hike. A kilometer maybe? So bring good walking shoes. Don't do it barefoot. If you like sandals, flip-flops, go ahead. But for me, I have my old running shoes. I walk in that. And you'll be having your backpack or your dry clothes bag with your wetsuit in it and your swim gear. And that bag, you put all your clothes that you're wearing. And always put in, thinking about, okay, if I'm going to be there at midnight, like after the race, how cold could it be? So put in a little extra warmer clothes there so that when you finish, you can feel nice and toasty when you're done. When we got to the swim start, again, I went to another bathroom. I find I need to go like 2 or 3 times before the race starts. It's just how it is for me. And I know that, so I'm like, okay, that's number 1, that's number 2, where's number 3? So I always kind of go through that list of porta potty stops. And after that, we all got together and we're getting ready to swim. We're laughing, we're joking, taking some pictures and having a good time. And then it was go time. For me, if you've been watching these videos, one of my main issues this year were goggles. And I know what you're thinking, just go buy goggles. I know, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to spend, I was in the Roca shop and they're like $50. I'm like, I don't want to spend $50 for goggles when I have so many goggles. So I bought foggies.
In
These
10
little
kilometers, merge onto Autoroute des Laurentides.
So I bought these foggies, the wipes, F-O-G-G-I-E-S. I had some goggles I tested 2 days before with the foggies, and they worked fine. And then I said, I'm gonna use these. We go to the swim start. It's foggy out, right? On the lake water, it's foggy, and really foggy. Like we can only see one of the buoys. Normally, you can see all of the buoys, right? We could only see one, and it was a rolling start. So they had signs up saying how fast you think you're going to swim, and you need to line up according to that speed or according to that time. For me, I typically swim an Ironman in 101 to 105. So when there's a sign that says sub 105, well, that's where I go. That happens to be at the front of the race. I was there next to Jackson. We're chatting and having fun. You know, we got to see the pros going in and out, and we were waiting there for an hour. It kept delaying the swim start because of the fog, and you could see it was lifting. At one point, you could see like half a buoy, then you could see the full buoy, and then you could see 2 buoys, 3 buoys, 4 buoys. So you go, oh, good, it's lifting. And they said, okay, we're going to start at this time. We started, and by the time your pros were done and we're about to start, you could see 1 buoy again. So the fog had to return. Now, I think that that extra hour of standing around doing nothing is something that you can't really predict or factor into as far as nutrition goes. I try to time things right down to, close to the minute so that when I get out of the swim I can start fueling. But because of an hour time delay, that really throws things off. So I missed that window of fueling, as we all did. But I think that played a little bit into how this story unravels. The swim start is, like I said, it's a rolling start. You're in 5 or 6 corrals. You watch the light. It goes from red to green. When it's green, you go. It's like a 3-second delay or something like that. We've done that before in Ironman 70.3 Hawaii, and it's good. It spreads people out. I started on the far left. I don't know where Jackson started, but he was very close. But once you start swimming, you can see one buoy, so you head towards that buoy, and then once you pass that buoy, you're like, where am I going? And I was thinking to myself, this is not the time to have foggy goggles. Please let this foggy wipe stuff work, because it would be horrible not to be able to see through your goggles and then not be able to see through the fog. It was really quite thick, and I was thinking about people that are weaker swimmers and not very good siders. I'm like, you're gonna be off course. It'd be so easy, so easy to get off course. I got off course a few times. You're swimming along, I don't know where I'm going. And you see a cap over there, go, I'm gonna swim over there because there's a cap. But I remember going around the turn, and the kayaker's like, he's doing this, and I couldn't even tell which direction his arm is moving. So I think it's going that way, so I just kept going that way. But it was difficult to see. I like the rolling starts a lot. I find it spreads it out. There's not a lot of craziness. There's some touching going on, but for the most part, I swam the swim without any problems at all, and it was good. I mean, besides the fact that it was super foggy, you couldn't see where we were going. The water temperature was nice. Water is clear. Water doesn't have a taste to it, so it's nice. It's clean. I think that's the word I'm looking for, is clean. And it was an enjoyable swim. And you know what? You don't often get to swim in the fog. I would never have my athletes out there swimming in the fog. It's not safe. But on race day, they did what they had to do, and it was actually kind of an adventure to do that, because I've never swam in the fog like that before. So maybe not, maybe never again. When I came out of the swim, we were near the bottom.
In 2 kilometers, merge onto Autoroute des Laurentides.
We were near the exit. I keep swimming until I can touch the ground with my hands. Kept swimming. It's quite shallow, but swimming. And I stand up, and I hear, "Hey Todd, good swim." And it was Jackson. He's right beside me. We had the exact same swim, actually. Because of the rolling start, he beat me by 20 seconds. So he's very proud of the fact that he actually beat me. He's like, "Yeah, Todd, I beat you." So in your face. It was really, really nice, like super great to have someone right beside you when you pop your head up and say, "Hey, Todd." So I really enjoyed that. They built a new swim exit from Mont, Tremblant, and it's awesome because it shortens the amount of distance you need to run from the swim exit to transition. And 5 years ago, it was like a long ways to go. Going up the stairs, one of the swim catchers said to me, "Hey, watch out, there's a step right here." So I'm like, okay. So I go gingerly there, put my foot on it, and up I go. No problem. I like the swim exit. I thought it was fine. When you get out, you run a little bit, go to the left, and there's swim strippers there. They're there to help you get your wetsuit off. I use them. Sometimes I don't, but this time I'm like, I want to go fast. So down, off it goes, grab the wetsuit, and there's a lane that I guess it's a road, but they have a cordoned off so that people can't get on there, and it's jam-packed of spectators. And when I get out, spectators are generally they're not excited, right? So what I do, I've done this at many races. You just kind of do this with your hands. You pump it up, and they were roaring. And I did that all the way down for half of it. And to me, it feels like I'm a rock star or a pro, and I'm like, yeah, I like that. So it was a great send-off, a really great send-off to go to the transition tent, and I thought that was fun. When I go in the transition tent, all I have to do is go in, grab my bag. Remember, I got my wetsuit in my hand, right? Goggles, swim cap, and I go and pick up my swim to bike bag, take that bag, go into the men's change tent. A tip that I tell people if you want to get in and get out quick, when you go into the change tent, you run right to the exit. Go to the side, put on your stuff. So for me, it was helmet, had to put on a helmet. Then I take my wetsuit, shove it in the bag, and I make sure that a volunteer sees it. You got this bag? He says yes, and then off I go. I picked up my my cycling shoes, and I ran with them in my hand towards my bike. Now my bike was racked in a good position, super easy to find, basically running along the red carpet the whole way. When I got there was a guy right across from me who was kind of having a little difficulty with his bike, and I was watching him just to make sure that he didn't get his pedal stuck in my rear spokes, right? So because our bikes were so jammed in there, they're so close, and I knew that all of these guys would be coming out at the same time, right? And it's just going to be a bit of a mess, but as it turned out, it was fine. It was just me and him there at the same time. And I could see he was fumbling with something. I was going to say, hey, you need some help, but he figured it out, and then grabbed my bike, and off I went. We were very close to the exit, so I just ran with my bike shoes on. I don't go very fast in them because you don't want to fall. Take your bike across the mountain line, onto the bike, and then away you go. And at some point there as well, I did that to the crowd too, and I get them going. And I think it's the coolest thing. If you ever do an Ironman event and you are out there and you see a ton of people as a crowd, you'll get them going. You just need a few to go, and they go. And it's so loud and awesome. And to me, I like it. I think it's a lot of fun. My goal for the bike, I had a bit of a question mark. Oh, my goal for the swim was to swim in an hour. I figured I'd go an hour 5. I came out in an hour 4. My goal for the T1 was 5 minutes, and I think I was 3 or 4 minutes. My goal for the bike, like I said, the bike had a question mark. How fast could I do the bike? When I did this before, I was 5:25. I figured I was in better shape. So I thought, maybe I can go 10 minutes faster. So I thought maybe 5:15. Maybe 5:20, maybe 5:25. And I said, if I think I'm slow, I'll go 5:30. I came in at 5:31. The bike is 2 loops, and it's really quite a good race. They do an amazing job of separating traffic from the cyclists. I don't think there's any time on the course where I felt not safe. You guys did a fantastic job. Roads are in good shape. There are 2 spots that are no passing zones, and if you pass during those, you'll be DQ'd, and I like that. You know what? That shows Ironman wants to make this race as safe as possible and make sure that participants get through this. My target for the bike was to hold power between 180 195 watts, and my heart rate would be 150 or under. In the beginning, it's a little high. It's always a little bit high. I try to go on perceived effort. I know my heart rate will be high, but it will slowly come down. It took a little bit longer to come down. I'm like, it's going to be okay. But I was really good at trying to keep my power where it's supposed to be. Like, do not be too much in the 200s. I was there for a little bit. It's really hard for me not to do that. You get into the race mode and you want to try and get around people. I don't like drafting. I don't like really seeing people draft. So that if I'm in a crowd where people are drafting, and if I feel I can go faster, I'll give a little extra effort to get past the crowd. So that will take me into higher watts or drop back. I saw quite a few people getting drafting penalties. The marshals were out in full force. And again, I'm happy they're out there, right? We want to keep this event safe. When I was looking at, so I'm near, the upper part of the race. When I was looking at the mid-pack of the race, there's a lot of people there, and I really think it's difficult to not be clumped up just because of the number of people. You'd have to talk to someone who's in the group, though, were you able to get away from drafting, or how difficult was it? But there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that are doing this race, and I like that. I like seeing a lot of people in transition. I like seeing a lot of people swimming, biking, and running. I think it's I don't know. I like that atmosphere of a lot of people. I've always liked that. I don't like being in crowds. Like today, they're having their athlete breakfast banquet. I'm not going to go to that. I'm just going to drive. But I like having a lot of people on race day. I don't know what that says about me, but it's okay. I don't have a map in front of me of the bike course. I don't really know the names. So for me to go over it like that, I can't do that. I'm going to say that there are some good climbs. When you go to your first turnaround, it's a lot of climbing, it's a lot of up. When you turn around though, it's a lot of down. And so I think you need to be able to pace yourself and stick to your targets. I think if you can do that, you're going to be okay. And you need to stick to your fueling plan. I changed that a little bit. I didn't drink as much as I normally do. I find that as I'm getting older, I don't drink as much as I used to. I still take in the salt and the blocks. But I think for me, I wasn't taking them in on a regular time. And I need to get more focused on, if I'm taking the blocks, I need to take them every 10 minutes. So I need to get, I don't think my bike computer does that, but maybe it does. Get it to beep every 10 minutes, so I'm taking a chew. Because I believe I ran out of gas. Well, actually, I know I ran out of gas. And it's because of the fueling on the bike. When you come down that highway, so you're coming back, you've turned around, a lot of it's downhill. You might have a wind to slow you down. There's a little turnaround you do in a small town, and they changed that from the last time I did it, and it was shorter. But I don't know, I just found that it was a long day, and it seemed like every 10 kilometers would take forever. That last little section, you have to go up. It's like, I think it's 10k up, 10k back. It's the hardest part of the course, and it's the first time you do it, you're like, this is hard. The second time you do it, you're like, what the hell? When does this ever end? Like, I found that it just never ended, and just hill after hill after hill. Coming down is fun for sure, but going up is like, oh my gosh. It's challenging, and I used to tell people, if you want to come to a good race, do Ironman Montreal for your first one. And I may change that, say you need to be a good cyclist, a strong cyclist. If this is going to be your first Ironman, you need to train. You need to train on the hills, and if you do not have hills, then maybe don't do this. Maybe hard to say, but it's hard. It's a hard course. I found that during part of the bike ride, I got to a point where like I I just dropped right down. I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling good at all. My energy is low and I'm just not enjoying it. I always get to a point, or many times I do in an Ironman, I go, why am I doing this? You know, why am I doing this? This is my 15th Ironman. Enough is enough. Come on, you're not even having fun. And at that point, I was not having fun. And then I had to kind of step outside of my negative talk and say, hey Todd, look, Ironman's like this. You're going to do a roller coaster, right? You're going to feel like $1 million at some point, and then you're going to feel like gum at the bottom of your shoe at the next point. That's where you are right now. You need to dig and get yourself back up. And that's what I had to do. So I did a lot of trying to get that attitude of gratitude back. I looked around and I was saying thank you for lots of things. And I started fueling more, taking some salt in, some drinks. And then before you know it, I feel better. I don't feel great, but I feel better. But like I said, you're on a roller coaster during Ironman. Sometimes you're at the bottom, sometimes you're at the top, sometimes you're at the middle. And you want to try and keep it as steady as possible, right in the middle. My target time, like I said, was 5:15 to 5:20, 25 to 30. And when I was doing the math on it, I realized I'm not even going to make 5:30. So coming down the last fast descents, I was watching the time. I go, I think I can do it. I think I can do it. And I came in. I think the official time for me is like 5:31, which is pretty darn close. For me, I always have to pee. I always have to pee. And I know some people can pee on their bikes, and you know, hats off to you guys for peeing on your bike. I can't do it. And I think I'm at a point in life where I don't want to do it. I mean, I don't want to have pee on my shoes. I don't want to have pee on my bike. You know, just one more thing you have to do after the race. And I don't know if that's going to save me that much time anyways. So I know I'm going to pee. All right, that's part of my race plan. The question is, when am I going to pee? I go to special needs on the bike, get my bag, go to the porta potty, pee, hop on the bike, and away I go. I do want to say this about peeing and the people I saw on the run course. There are a lot of porta potties out there. There is no need to pull over and just pee in the bushes. It's actually a rule, I believe, that you're not supposed to do that. So please, if you have to pee on the run, run to the next porta potty. And if you find that the porta potties don't have toilet paper, then maybe when you're running, you grab some toilet paper and you put it in your pocket or something so that you have that. I know that may sound crazy that you have to run with toilet paper. But when you're doing a race with 2,500 people, there's a chance when you get there and it's out of paper. And I was running past some ladies, I heard them talking back there saying, well, I hope that the next porta potty has toilet paper. So I've never said that to anyone before on a run with toilet paper, but it may be something to consider. Or run with wipes, you know, I don't know. When I came off the bike, I felt okay. Did I feel good? I'm not going to say I felt good. I didn't feel bad. I felt okay. But the nice thing about this is you ride right into transition. Get off your bike, they take your bike, and you then head to the change tent. One thing I did is I distinctly remember pressing stop on my bike computer. Handed the guy the bike, and then see you later. And I'm saying that because when I went to pick up my bike after the race, my bike computer was gone. So if anyone out there has a Garmin 510 and found an Ironman Mont Tremblant, it's mine. Please send it back. If you look at the ride, it should be 5:31. I'd like to see the power, all that kind of stuff. Please, if you got it, send it back. I hate buying new stuff. And what happened to it? Like, really, what happened to it? Your mind starts to go weird places when that happens, right? It's like, where'd it go? happy biking video. Okay, that's just a little rant. Now let me go back to getting off the bike. Get off the bike, and I start to run. Can't call it a run though. My back is really tight, my legs are sore, and I'm shuffling like a very old man who can't walk very well. That's me. That was a picture of me trying to get to the tent. And I think it's comical. You go, okay, all right, dude, off you go. Put on your running shoes and let's go run a marathon. My transition was fast. Went in, grabbed my bag, sat down, socks on, shoes on. I grabbed more salt, hat on, and number belt, and then I put my watch. I run with my watch, turn it on as I was running, get it going, put it on my wrist, and then off I go. Pretty fast transition. I think I was 3 minutes or something like that. And again, my target was for 3. And so now I'm thinking about this. My swim, I don't know the time. I go, probably was about an hour. That's a good guess, right? This is what's going into my head. And my bike, my T1 was probably 5 minutes. It felt pretty good. My bike was 5:30, and my next transition was 3 minutes. So I did the math. So 5:30, 6:30, 6:40. And then if I run a 3:30 marathon, I should never do math on camera. I'm looking at just over 10 hours. And I go, that's good. That's really good. If I can come in like, low 10s, that should be good enough to get me placed pretty high. I know that there's no chance in hell I'll ever win an age group at Ironman. The guys there are just the guys that win it. My hat's off. You guys are machines. But I figured if I can do a 3:30 marathon or 3:35, I'll be in good position. So I start off running. I feel pretty good. I feel good. I'm very happy to get off the bike. That's one funny thing about Ironman is when you're biking, you just want to get off this bike and I just want to start running. Like, I'm done being on this bike. And then when you're running, you get to a point where you're running, like, I am done running. I just want to get my bike back. I was running along and I looked down. My heart rate was a little bit high. My targets for the run was 160 or under for heart rate, and my pace was 5-minute kilometers, or just under. When I started off, I looked at my pace. It was either 4:20 or 4:40. I'm like, that's pretty high. My heart rate was about 167, too high. I'm like, Todd, that's too high. You got to bring it down. So I'm trying to bring it down. Watching the pace, bring the pace, slow the pace, bring the heart rate down. So I'm trying to do those things. When I came to the first hill, slow it right down, stay controlled, and then just keep running. And I felt good. I was watching my pace. I seemed to be doing a good job, staying relaxed. Everything felt good. I'm like, this is how a run should feel. It's easy, much, much easier than being on that stupid bike. And so now I'm off. I'm running. I go, this is it. Easy. Maybe that was a mistake. I broke the run up into a few different segments. The first segment, I think it's 5K. There are quite a few hills there to get to a small town. Once you're in the town where we rented our mountain bikes to ride the run course, then you go on Le Petit Train Nord, that was called, and then it's basically a bike pathway between the trees, and it's pretty much straight. You're covered with shade by the trees, and it's not that difficult. It's either up or down. It's not that difficult. So once I got on that section, I'm running along. I look at my pace, it's like 5s. I look at my heart rate, I'm like 166, 165, but that's too high. I'm trying to bring it down. I'm trying to relax. I'm trying to stay smooth. I go, I still feel good, but heart rate's too high. I'm trying to bring it down, can't do it. And And then near the 7-kilometer mark, I said to myself, I think I need to stop. I went from good to bad really quick. And when I was running, I had a sandwich bag with ice. You guys know I do that. And so I stopped as I was walking, started eating the ice. And that felt really, really good. When I got to the next aid station, I just started eating. So pretzels, chews, having cola, and lots of stuff to get into my belly. And then I felt a little bit better, but I continued to walk. And then like, okay, let's get going. I don't know how long I walked for. It's a bit of a blur. And then I started to run again, and it felt okay. But I knew it's not going so good. I was able to kind of bring it back for a little bit. I tried to go as easy or as relaxed as I could while still fueling at the aid stations. My LSD pace is 5 minutes per kilometer. So when I go slow and comfortable, that's where my body wants to go. It's as crazy as it sounds, it's hard for me to run slower than that. So I just naturally go to 5-minute kilometers. So I'm running along, and then I had to walk some more, and I just didn't feel good. And that's the rest of my run. So back up to the course. The first 5K is from the village of Montreal to a small town, I don't know the name, rolling hill. That's the tough part. Then you get on the Pitre Nord, which is a pathway, flat. Right? Then you need to turn around, another 5K, still relatively flat. Come back into the small town, some hills, but not as hard as coming out. Then you go into the village, where you have to run up a hill, go around a parking lot in the hotel, and then you come through the village, which is awesome. I mean, it's so great. Because you're running through the village, there's spectators lining everywhere, they're cheering, and it's such a nice little village. You feel like you're in Europe. It's awesome. And then out we go for another loop. The second loop, yeah, it wasn't so good. I think the first loop was 2 hours. Second loop took a lot longer than that. It came down to survival for me and how much did I want to hurt. I mean, I got to a point where my goal target is gone. Like, I want to do low 10s, and there's no way that's going to happen. And I kept asking myself, well, what's the point of running with all this pain to get done in a certain hour? Because it didn't matter. Like, you know, whether I finish in just under 11 or just over 11 or 12, I couldn't find a reason to push through that pain. And I saw lots of people on the side of the road. They did not look good. Some of them were in the medical area, and they just did not look good. I go, I think that's going to be me. If I ran, because I was trying to do the math, I go, look, all you got to do, Todd, is run 6-minute kilometers. Just shuffle along. And you'll get this done, and you'll have a marathon time, 4 hours, and you'll still be sub 11 hours. That's what I was thinking about. So that kind of gave me a goal until I realized I still don't feel good. I just didn't feel good at all, so I don't want to do that. I'm just going to walk. So it ended up becoming a lot of walking for me. I came to a point in the race where I was really, really tired. And I went to an aid station. I saw lawn chairs, little chairs. And I said, hey, can I sit there? I said, yeah. So I sat down. The volunteer came up to me. He started rubbing my legs. He goes, it's okay. I'm a massage therapist. I'm like, all right. So he starts massaging my legs. He does my left, does my right. He rubs them down pretty good. I'm like, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. He leaves. calls his wife over. His wife comes over, and she starts massaging my legs. He goes, "It's okay. She's a massage therapist too." I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" So the aid station that I stop at for a little break, sit down, I also get a massage. Crazy. But I was so thankful to have that little break. Just stopped. One of our friends, Rachel, she was having a kick butt kind of race. As I was sitting in the chair, saw her run by. I'm like, "Yeah, you're doing a great job. Well done." And for me at that point to go, let me try to run. Let me try to run. I got a little shuffle happening. I go, this does not feel good. Nothing felt good. My abs were sore, really sore. My legs were sore. And I just didn't feel good. And I see people running. And that's the hardest part, when you see people running and you go, they can do it. But on that day I couldn't. What was cool is that people that watch these videos say, "Hey Todd, I watch your videos, thanks for the videos." That, I like that a lot. I was trying not to look too dejected on the course, like, "Oh man, this sucks." So I try to, I try to hold myself together, and I love having you guys say hi and watch your videos. It means a lot to me. We're all out there suffering together. There was one guy when I came back on the second loop, and he just came down the hill and gave me a high five. To me, I thought that was really, really special. I don't know if you're someone who follows me or not, but that really got me going. On the first loop of the run, I came up the hill. This is the point where I was still feeling good. And I came up to Pro Jeff Simons. I knew he was in the race. And I was looking for him. I saw him on the run. I'm a big fan of his. And I saw him on the bike. And then I didn't see him on the run. The third place guy passed me. And then I could see other people, but I couldn't see him. And so I'm like, Jeff goes, "Hey Todd, keep it going." And so I stopped and said, "Hey man, what's going on?" And he said, "It wasn't meant to be. His races were too close together. He just did Ironman Canada just a few weeks ago, so he couldn't do it again." And I hate to see that. I hate to see when people can't pull out of a race. And a lot of people give people crap for pulling out of a race. And that's, you know what? I don't think you should ever do that. You should never give people crap for pulling out of a race, because you're not in their shoes. Like, you are not in their shoes. I had to pull out twice, and it's crappy. No one wants to do that. No one wants to DNF. So if someone is DNFing, it's usually for a really good reason. So they're thinking ahead of not doing further harm to their body. So next time someone DNFs, just be kind to them. They're having a crappy day, so be kind. I've kind of got lost track of where I'm at, but I think I'm almost done. So I'm doing a lot of walking. I had a guy on the side said, come on Todd, pick it up. This is supposed to be your strength marathon. And I'm like, inside. I'm thinking, not today it isn't. Not today it isn't. Over there on this side of the highway, it is jammed. It is like a parking lot. There's like 3 lanes of cars just going so slow. Like, why is it so slow? And I'm like, where am I going? Is this the right location? When I had 1 kilometer to go, TELUS had a jumbo screen up. Now, when you cross the timing mat, it registered your number, and then a message from your loved ones popped up. Myself and Johan, we made a message to everyone that was there with No Limits. We made 9 messages, so I got to see our message twice. There's a message from Johan and me to me.
Use the right lane to take exit 30.
And also there was a message from Johan's wife and other family members and Tyler. So it was great to have that. It's that extra encouragement. It makes you laugh, and it was really, really nice.
Take the exit.
After that kilometer to go, there's a good climb into the parking lot, and then you go into the village. And I tried to run, wasn't going to happen, so I continued to walk. As I got into the village, I said, okay, I'm going to run. I felt horrible, but I'm like, it's okay. It's only like 300 meters or so. So I'm in there running, and the crowd is awesome. And Charlotte's husband, Gord's there. He came out, gave me a high five, and gave me some words of encouragement, which was great. Well, this is a continuation of my race review. Unfortunately, what happened is I ran out of battery in my camera. I need to continue on, pick up where I left off. So, I have like 500 meters left in the race. I'm coming into the village, and I see Gord, which was Charlotte's husband, cheering me on, and it was great to see him. I know where the finishing chute is. It's not so far away. I pick up my pace a bit. My body is not feeling good about running, but I pick up the pace and I enjoy the crowd, and I see the finish line. I hear my name, Todd, you're an Ironman, which is great. I've been thinking about the finish line and what I want to do, and my typical finish line pose, I guess, is I jump up, both hands, and touch the clock. Some clocks are higher than others. This clock was not that high at all, so I really just had to stretch out my arms, little bit of a jump, and then I was done. And you know what? I was very, very proud to get across that finish line, and happy that it was over. So people ask me, hey, how did your race go? I say 75% good, or 75% great. And I do. I believe that it was quite a good race, except for the last little bit on the run, or just a big chunk of the run. And in hindsight is always 20/20, right? I think the biggest thing that got me was, well, two things. One, I think I might have done too much before Ironman. So you know what? I did 3 races in 4 weeks. So half Ironman, Olympic distance, and then Ironman. Maybe that was too much. But when you're actually doing it, when you're in the middle of doing it, it feels right. The Olympic distance, did I go too hard on it? Maybe. But again, I was having so much fun and enjoying that race. I don't think I would have done it differently. For Ironman, I think that hour where we lost just standing around waiting for the fog delay for the swim start, that really affected me and affected a lot of people's nutrition. The nutrition strategy, we didn't think about losing an hour. And for me, even once I finished the swim, hopped on the bike, I didn't think, oh, you lost an hour. I just thought, okay, get on the bike, start racing, and then I start fueling as I should. And I couldn't think about or process that you need to take more in. And I think I actually took in less calories during that ride. I don't know why, I think I did, and I need to time my nutrition better. And I just kind of went on feel more than anything. And for that race, I needed to be more on a time schedule. Overall, I'm just going to say the whole race season, I think it was good. I'm pleased with it. It is over. No more triathlons for this year. I have a half marathon coming up this weekend. You can see that I'm now back in Calgary. This is only 5 weeks since the race. Look what I'm wearing. I've got like a warm jacket on. I got the heated seats on. It's just night and day. Racing in Canada is short-lived. We need to get out and enjoy the nice days while we have it. Winter comes way too fast. I want to thank you very much for listening to this video. If you made it to the end, give yourself a virtual high five, because this was like an Ironman in itself, or a marathon. But that's it. I'm looking forward to my next Ironman next year. Will it be Mont Tremblant again? There's a pretty good chance of it. Pretty good chance. Hey, thank you very much again. This is Coach Todd. Thank you. Happy training. Bye.